It's almost over. College football is coming to an end for the 2022 regular season. I got you there. We still got plenty of bowl games and stuff to be played. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media coming at you live on a Tuesday afternoon. These college football teams are done. Let's talk about that today. Also, we got the new CFP rankings tonight. I didn't make banners. I kind of threw this one together last minute and kind of went live last minute too, and I apologize. But we have quite a few teams. What I mean by done is their path to a national title is basically broken. There's no way they could get to a national championship. They're a disappointing team. They are done. And, I mean, there's actually quite a few of those teams out there, believe it or not. I mean, we could go ahead and start right out the gate with Alabama. They are done. Is it a surprise to anybody? We have Bryce Young as our quarterback. No, it's not a surprise. Oh, wait. You know what? He's the Heisman Trophy winner. How is his team done? Pitiful. Just awful this year. Alabama. 8-2 on the year. I liked how they bounced back against Ole Miss. Don't get it twisted. But they have no chance to win the West because of LSU. Therefore, their season is ruined, and they will not be making a national title this year like they should have. The Pac-12 has one team in USC. Oregon was a little bit better than we expected them to be, so I'd say they were a surprising team. But now they have 2 losses on the year, one of which being to the opener in Georgia, which is not a bad loss. I'm not going to throw them under the bus for that. But their second loss coming this past weekend, an upset against number 25 at the time, Washington, 37-34. That team is done. Penn State disappoints me all the time. Has 2 losses. They are done. They have lost to Michigan and Ohio State. They might be the best 2-loss team, actually. Ole Miss, since they lost to Alabama. Hold on one second. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Ole Miss. Their first loss came to LSU. And it was going to come down to them or LSU for the SEC West. Ole Miss would have still been alive had LSU lost their game this weekend. That didn't happen. And had Ole Miss beaten Alabama, that did not happen. These teams are done. These teams are not making the college football playoff. What's up, Nate? What's up, Goose? How you doing? Want to hear from you guys in the chat. What teams are done as far as national title implications go? What teams are done looking for that this year? And then I also want to hear your rankings for tonight's show. But, yeah, Ole Miss is done. Alabama is done. Clemson is still alive, actually. They don't have a conference loss. Their loss is to Notre Dame. Um, Clemson could still win the ACC and maybe get a nod. I just don't think it's going to happen. So in my book, they're done. They're not making the playoffs. North Carolina. Look, the ACC is not going to get in my opinion, because I think you'll have the SEC champion in Georgia, possibly LSU if they pull an upset, which it is likely, but probably not going to happen. You'll have Georgia. You'll have either Ohio State or Michigan. You'll have TCU. You'll have, well, Clemson. I guess they could. I mean, in my personal opinion, I believe the four teams should be, if it applies, undefeated or one loss conference champs first. I mean, that's basically going to be a rule for the 12 team playoff. What are the conference champions? And we're going to take them. That's fair. USC is still alive. UCF is ranked, but they're not going. Florida State is done. I mentioned Washington, Utah. The Pac-12 basically is all done. I take that back. I apologize. I always mix up the. I don't know where I think they play, but I always forget USC in the Pac-12. We'll see. Goose says UCLA and Oregon is done. Yes, I agree. We're talking about just for the season, Nate. We're talking about teams that their chance at a playoff is gone. Enjoy a New Year's Six bowl. Enjoy whatever bowl game you end up in. We will talk about the rankings too. Where do you think Alabama will be tonight? I think it'll be similar to the latest AP poll, 7 or 8. We had them at 8. So, Nate the Great says, my prediction for the college football playoff rankings for tonight: 1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 Michigan, 4 TCU. Okay, I like it. That's what we have currently for the AP poll. There shouldn't be much change to it because there wasn't many upsets this weekend like there was last weekend. But we will see. Notre Dame's been done. Kansas State's done. Florida State's done. Oklahoma State, Oregon State are done. Florida, Texas, Liberty, all these teams are done. Very interesting. I guess we should just start talking about the teams that aren't done and who's going to be done next. I think LSU might be the next team done. Possibly. I mean, people are really riding off LSU against Georgia, saying how Georgia's too good of a team and LSU doesn't have what it takes to beat Georgia. They can't win the SEC championship. They just beat Alabama. You realize that? whose other loss was to Tennessee. I agree with Cody actually here. Alabama and Clemson in the Orange Bowl. I like that. I agree. Two at-large teams, ACC or Notre Dame in there. Notre Dame's not good enough for the Orange Bowl this year, at least. We'll see. But, I mean, I think if TCU, I don't know. Look, if, and I actually, I'd have to take this back. I say back there, Nate. Georgia, let's say Tennessee gets in. LSU's not making the playoff. I guess LSU has to be the Sugar Bowl team. And they'd be playing a team, unless TCU makes the playoffs, they'd be playing a team in like TCU. But we'll see. What's up, Nate?
What's up, Ballard? If Michigan loses to OSU, which I hope not, but if they do, let's just say we had a good season or a great season again, if that happens, because we proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
Again, but I'm just saying if that happens again for the Ohio State game, but I was gonna say that I wouldn't be mad if we went to the Rose Bowl. I would be not mad at all.
I actually had in my my preseason bowl predictions, I had Michigan USC in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
that
I would
actually
love that.
could happen. If that happens, I'll crap a gold brick right now, buddy. If I get a bowl game like that right, woohoo!
Yeah.
They also already have a line out for the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the one that I saw was like Ohio State minus 14 points. I was like, what?
Was it 14?
Well, a different site I saw, but it's probably down. But maybe, I don't know. I don't look at much attention to the money lines, but I just like straight up bets. But
I actually like this one here. So Cody, I'm assuming, is going all conference champions. He's got Georgia, Ohio State, TCU. Then he has USC in the playoff. That's interesting.
Hey, if Michigan loses to Ohio State, I don't want to hear Ohio State say, "Oh, it's just 1 year, once in a lifetime." You don't know that because if we beat you again in the big house, you can't say that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Illinois I was actually looking for the Illinois game this week, but the more I think about it, I think Michigan's gonna roll with that in that game. Hopefully, but I told you, Brett Bielema is building something there. And I think a year ago, I told you when he got hired, Brett Bielema at Illinois. But yeah, you know what's funny? I thought I actually thought the Illinois and Purdue rivalry trophy I thought it was actually a big cannon that they win, but it's actually a miniature size cannon that you can carry around. I was like, what? that's disappointing. But anyway, yeah. In the comment section, I completely forgot about LSU. So I'll probably put LSU 6-5, Tennessee, and 7. Maybe Bama. I don't know. It's either toss-up USC or Bama. I'll just pick USC, but and then 8 Bama, 9. I don't even know about the about other teams because they lost a lot of their games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So let's talk real quick about Michigan and what you've seen from them this year as we go into this Illinois game before rivalry weekend and Ohio State next week. What do you think about this matchup this week?
I think it's gonna be a little bit slow start. Well, what do you mean by like? Can you give me a explain? Like, I got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, we're just kind of talking about Illinois and Michigan.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I was trying to think of a word that best describes the game. It's a decent matchup, but I think it's a good matchup for defense, like defense wise, because Illinois is like a third points allowed for defense, I think, and Michigan's actually first in the points allowed, and pass rush defense is for Michigan's number 1. So, Illinois' offense kind of reminds me of a little bit of Michigan's offense, kind of, but not the running game though, not the running game. But the passing game kind of reminds me of Michigan's passing game. They're decent at passing. They don't really pass that much, but what I've seen from Illinois, yeah, they're basically a run team first.
Yeah.
Like Michigan. So bad news for Illinois. Chase Brown, their leading rusher, I think got hurt in Purdue game. So
he did. He had a leg injury late in the game. So I don't know what his status is, but
yeah,
apparently, according to Brett Bielema, the head coach for Illinois, he's improving. So it's possible you see him be like maybe possibly a game time decision. But I'm just going to throw this at you, Nate, that Illinois is a good team. Michigan's a great team, and there's a big difference. And I don't care if this game was at Illinois; it's at Michigan, but it could be at Illinois. I just expect this to be a huge blowout overall. I think that, I don't say that on the part of Illinois being a bad team or anything. They're a great team.
Yeah.
But Michigan is
that's all.
miles ahead. And I'm going to go ahead and give a score prediction. I think you guys can win something like 52-14.
Yeah, I would say because that score, I would probably just predict like 37-17.
Okay.
But if we struggled in the first half like we did in Nebraska, which is we should have not done because it was Nebraska, aka the Nate Bowl. Because I'm in the house divide. But anyway, Yeah, um I don't see if Michigan is focused on Ohio State and not this game. This could be a trap game if they're looking ahead because they should not look ahead. Um, and plus, they've been pretty good about not looking ahead like all season.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've had like Penn State and Michigan State. They've had all these different games to
Yeah.
look ahead towards, but they've yet to fall and get upset.
Mm-hmm. And plus the Ohio State Michigan. I know that's next week, but um, Ohio State has 69.7% chance to win, and Michigan has like 38.8% chance. So it's not that bad. But yeah, I predict they blow out like you said against Illinois. Although Illinois is a good team and head in the right direction for their program, and yeah, yeah, I believe that Illinois is heading in the right direction. But yeah,
Oh yeah. I think
um,
they're going in the right direction. I just think that they're still a few years off from
yeah, yeah,
beating, let alone even competing with Michigan.
mhm, yep. And plus, we just got to give them time because look what people thought. Well, actually, people gave Michigan time of Harbaugh. Well, well, kind of, sort of. But talking about Ohio State game, but you just gotta be patient until he that team, like Illinois, you just gotta be patient with them because they're, like we said, we're heading right direction, but don't count them out yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know this is like a disappointment and a really bad year. Well, I won't say bad year, but like a disappointing year for Bama. But
It's a bad year, all right.
oh, well, I thought it was like a little bit of disappointment year, but still bad year. I mean, you think a little? Do you think a little bit of the players will transfer? Like, not a lot, but like some.
It's possible. I mean, I know we're loaded on both sides of the ball going forward and going into next
Mhm.
year. I mean, this was a young team
Yeah.
in some ways, but it was really experienced for the most part. And, um, I think when you're Alabama and you recruit like you do and get as many players as you get, it's hard to keep up with all that talent because you can only put one guy at each position. So,
Hmm.
I mean, there's going to be guys that don't get their way that get benched that probably should be out there. And if they transfer to go start somewhere else because they're not starting at Alabama, I don't blame them. Um, so I don't know who it is, but to answer your question, are players going to transfer? It is a possibility that maybe we have one or two guys leave.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not saying all players like all freshmen, but I think one or two, like you said, probably gonna transfer. But it might be like one 5-star or one 3-star or whatever. Um, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Um. So if okay, in talk about rivalries, what rivalry rivalry games do you want back? Oh, well, except for like the ones are already back, kind of, but like for example, Michigan State and Notre Dame or something like that, or in your opinion,
One of the first ones that sticks out to me, in fact, I saw a couple of years ago they would try to bring this back. I want, and actually, if you think about it, we'll kind of get this back when they join the SEC. But I gotta say A&M and Texas.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That used to be the stuff, man. That used to be um, a really big game.
And plus, Paxton says Texas and Arkansas too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's I think that's a little smaller rivalry than the Texas and Texas A&M rivalry, but it's still a rivalry. But I want to see this back in rivalry this back. Illinois and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Although Ohio State has dominated the streak so far, if Illinois gets competitive in the future, if they had a rivalry again, or when they do, I think that could be good matchups and stuff. But I think the rivalry is called the Battle for Illybuck.
Illybuck.
Yeah, it's a wooden turtle that has like Illinois logo and Ohio State logo or something like that split. I don't know, but it's like a wooden turtle. Yeah, it's a really old rivalry too. It dates back like 19. Yeah. Oklahoma, Nebraska was good for like 2 years, and that's shameful for like 2 years. Shame. I wish that was like a non-conference game rivalry every year. Okay, I don't care if you are not in the same conference, but make it a non-conference rivalry game every year.
Yeah.
I want that to happen, but yet they don't.
Here's this was actually put out this year from 247 Sports, college football rivalries that need to be brought back. You want to look at this list here?
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's see. I got you, Matthew. Hold on. There we go.
What's up, Matthew?
What's up?
What's up? Arkansas, Texas. We mentioned that one, I think. Colorado, Nebraska.
Yeah, it's a rivalry. They back in the Big Eight, I think. Colorado has like 3 winning streak right now, currently against Nebraska, which is laughable.
They're scheduled to play next year, though.
Where at?
Florida, Miami. I remember they played 2019 week 0. Florida, Miami. I remember that. That could be an annual rivalry. Georgia, Clemson. They actually have a lot of games scheduled. They have like home and homes coming up. It's not just what they played in the opener last year on neutral site. But that I thought that was a good game, and I think those are 2 historic programs that I'd love to see more often. Kansas, Missouri.
Yep, I think so. I mean, that's a rivalry too. Um. Um. I mean, yeah. Kansas was last very good. It was I think 2008 or something like that. But yeah.
Michigan, Notre Dame.
Yeah. I want.
That's your rival. That's your rival.
Yeah. F Notre Dame. um. Yeah. Poor Notre Dame. I think it was like 49-10. I think the last time we met or whatever it is. And we don't play until like 2033 to 34.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nebraska, Oklahoma. Yeah. Back in the Big Eight, I remember they had a game of the century back in the 70s, or was it the 90s or something like that? There was a big game they had. Um, I remember I wasn't there for it, but I've heard about it. That's definitely like a college football flashback one there.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss and Memphis. Who the
Ooh. Well,
hell?
is that a rivalry?
Seriously?
I guess.
Now I gotta
Oh,
say.
Pitt and West Virginia. Okay.
So,
What's up?
in my humble opinion, I think the top four is probably going to be Georgia, the winner versus Michigan and Ohio State at number 2. Number 3, probably Tennessee, and number 4, USC. What's your thoughts?
No TCU.
Well, here's the question. And this is a really good question. Let's just say TCU is undefeated regular season, or let's just say TCU loses this weekend to Baylor, and then
Okay.
they win the Big 12 title. Is that going to be enough for TCU to get in? I mean, for me, yes, I think it's good enough. But for the committee, is that going to be good enough for them to get in? I mean, do they have to go undefeated?
That is a good question.
And
And think about like how they play too. You know how many times they've had to come from behind or hit a game winner to stay undefeated instead of
what?
just straight blowing out teams.
Well, why is a Big 12? This is my question. Why is a Big 12 champion? Let's just say TCU wins the Big 12 championship with one loss. Why would a Big 12 champion be treated like a Group of 5 Cincinnati team? They have to go undefeated. I mean, you're in a Power 5 conference with only one loss, and you're a Power 5 champion. Why are you being treated like you're some type of Group of 5 that has to go undefeated to get in?
Yeah.
We seen a Notre Dame team. We've seen a Notre Dame team lose the ACC championship and go into the playoffs
Yeah, I still think that was stupid, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
over Texas A&M that did not go to their division championship. The SEC, Texas A&M did not go into the SEC championship. This is the same kind of situation that we're going to
Yeah.
see here. If TCU goes undefeated regular season, loses the Big 12, just like Notre Dame did back in 2020, and then A&M did not even go to their conference championship, and Texas A&M didn't even go into the Final Four. So I don't know. I feel like there's brand bias here.
There might be brand bias, actually.
I mean, I know people. I know what the comment section is going to say. I know what everybody's going to say, but you cannot. All right. TCU faced 4 ranked teams back to back to back and won every one of them. Right.
Right.
And I understand. Oklahoma is no good anymore. I understand Oklahoma State has 3 losses now. I understand these teams have lost down the road. I understand that. But at the time you faced them, that should matter. That's the first time a FBS team has done that since like 50 years. Beat 4 ranked teams back to back to back to back. And you're a 7-point underdog to a number 18 ranked Texas, which probably won't be ranked since TCU beat them. Probably won't even be ranked. So then that game won't matter anyways, because now Texas has 4 losses, so that game really doesn't matter. But you were a 7-point underdog, and you defied all odds, and you actually won by 7. So in my opinion, you won by 14.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like TCU deserves to go if they have 1 loss and they're a Big 12 champion. I feel like they're definitely in. I feel that's the way I feel. And I got a question. Here's another question. So what if Michigan beats Ohio State by 3 points?
Okay.
Who do you put in? Ohio State or Tennessee?
Tennessee did get beat by a lower team. Like beat. I'm just kidding about Georgia being a lower team, by the way. They're a good Georgia team this year. You still got blown out if you're Tennessee. But a 3-point loss to Michigan or Ohio State. Yeah.
And does a ACC champion have a shot to even get in anymore?
What's North Carolina's record again?
They only have 1 loss, and that's to Notre Dame. Clemson only has 1 loss.
8-1, I think, or 9-1 or something like that.
I mean, I think you can make a case, but
I don't know. I feel like Tennessee they're wanting Tennessee in so bad.
Mm-hmm.
just because they've had such a historic year.
Yeah, they want them in. I feel like they want them in.
This is why we're going to 12 teams. I mean, this is
Yeah, it's getting really old, in my opinion. But I mean, I'm fine with 4 teams, but you gotta think about it. It's getting really old because it won't be fair. A lot of people say this, but it won't be fair if like a lot of undefeated teams or something like that, or some 1 lost team.
And
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be 1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State / Michigan, which I right now I'm leaning towards Michigan, but I don't know.
Oh, you like Michigan over Ohio State right now?
Well, they're the Michigan's defense is number 1 in the country in the points allowed and yards allowed. And I've always said this, right? They want Tennessee in the playoffs, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, so this is what I've heard, and I like this saying: offense sells tickets, defenses win championships.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do like Michigan right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ohio State won. You get to see Ohio State versus Tennessee, two great offenses. Like I said, offenses win. Offenses sell tickets. You get a 2 versus 3 matchup, right? Sell a lot of tickets. You get number one Georgia versus maybe a TCU, maybe a USC. I don't know. I'm thinking USC right now because I think they have the best chance to run the table.
Mm-hmm.
You got Caleb Williams, great offense, versus a number one great defense, right? And then you might see Georgia versus Ohio State or Tennessee or Michigan or Tennessee or whatever in the championship, and you're still going to have defense versus really good offense.
Or there's a other case that if it isn't offense and defense, there could be like defense versus defense.
Or that.
Yeah.
Like I said, defenses win championships.
Yep. Facts. Well, nowadays they do, but it used to be offense, but now it's just defense.
I would love to see. This is my dream playoff scenario, right? I would love to see, and I'm not saying this just because Newt the Groot is here, right? But I would love to see a rematch between Michigan and Georgia in the championship game.
Oh yeah, for revenge. well, probably Georgia's probably want to get that win streak if that happens, but Michigan's seeking revenge if that happens, if they play each other. But both had great defenses, and Georgia has a high edge of offense for passing, I think, but rushing offense probably Michigan, I think. What do you think about that, Matthew? Do you agree on that? What I said, like both have great defense, so yeah. And,
Yeah, I think Michigan and Georgia has great defenses, and I mean, no matter what, if you're undefeated at this point in the season, you're a great team. I don't care what conference you're in. I don't care if you're in my conference. I don't care. You're a great.
And like I said earlier in the show, a lot of people, again, I don't know why they doubted Michigan as my team again, as they always do. But look at what they did, down Michigan before the season started, because they don't have a Jabo or a Hutchinson or Dax Hill. No, we don't. But we have a whole defense, not just individuals that are great. Yet I know it's no name defense, but look right now. We're like number one in the nation in defense. And look what the haters gonna say now. Oh yeah, and Michigan is really great right now. See, this is what gets me perturbed. They're kind of like bandwagons when they see if when they say before the season starts, like say example Michigan, doesn't they don't think the Michigan Wolverines going to have a good year this year. Currently, they do right now, and they just change their mind because they think Michigan has a really good year. So that irritates me. You gotta just choose a side. But either gonna love them or hate them, just gotta choose a side.
Well, I would like to hear Ballard's projection, the Final Four.
Uh-oh.
Right now,
If it ended today, well, if it ended, what do you think is what's your prediction of what's going to happen?
I think you get the SEC champion, which I think will be Georgia, number one. I think that's fair. I'm going to take Ohio State. I'm going to take TCU. And then, man, this is hard.
Well, it is hard, but if Ohio State, somehow keeps or Michigan keeps it close with Ohio State, but still loses, I know everyone will say Michigan's out, but what if they lose by 1 point? You think they have a 49% or 49.9% chance getting for number 4?
Yeah.
Or,
Okay.
yeah.
I say that personally I favor the conference champions, but I don't think they're going to play the card of all conference champions this year.
Right.
I'll go Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, and then either Michigan or Tennessee.
Yeah.
So you think they will have the number 1, number 4 matchup, Tennessee versus Georgia in the first round?
It could
That or
happen.
Michigan, you could take your pick.
Yeah. The one that kills Michigan is the non-conference schedule, but that's about it. But every game they played, they blew teams out, so that kind of keeps them alive a little bit. But
Now, where do you see out? I've seen something. I think ESPN predictor or whatever predicted that Bama versus Clemson in the Orange Bowl. What's your thoughts on that?
That could be a good one.
I'd be excited for that. I know people, and even myself, like it used to be Bama and Clemson and the rest of college football, and outside of being a Bama fan, it did kind of get tiresome, but it has been a couple years, and I think to see Dabo and Saban take the field again, I think would be something special.
And how many more years, or maybe whatever, how much longer do you think Saban has before he says it's over?
I had a feeling you were going to ask that. Man, is he still winning championships these next few years?
He's only won one national title in the last 5.
I would say like 2 or 3.
I mean, if he's grabbing 2 or 3, then he's still coaching. If not, he's going to hang it up.
Well, he's only won one national title in the last 5 seasons. So
yeah, but yeah. What I mean by 2 or 3 years he has left is because if he gets one more, this is what I get from band fans or hear from band fans. If he gets one more, I think he's hanging it up. If he gets one more, I think. But
I think he'll go one more season, and if he doesn't win, I think he's done. I mean, I'm gonna say one more year. I think he's going next year, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna I think that's going to affect the recruiting for Bama, but who knows?
But question, Ballard, who would be the next one? I mean,
Next coach.
yeah.
That's a big one too.
A few years ago, I would have said Mario Cristobal, but
Eh,
left for Miami. Um, uh,
it's not a whole lot.
I don't know, man.
Luke Fickle.
I take
No,
Luke Fickle. I would take a guy like that. I just think that he's.
the
Lance.
I think
Midwestern guy.
he likes what he's doing at Cincinnati, though. Is that the
What
question?
What about Lance Leopold?
Who? Oh well.
Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
He only has right now. He has only 1 year right now for a good year so far.
I mean,
That's true.
Bama's going to take a serious head coach. They're not going to take just random like
Then
not. They're going to take a
that
more like a Brian Kelly type of head coach.
that's my problem because for searching for a head coach for Bama because there's not a lot of seriousness or serious coach like Saban that does like Saban. That's the problem. But maybe what's it called? Lane Kiffin could be one if he leaves
You know,
home.
he's. I'm actually reading stuff right now. You know, there's rumors he goes to Auburn.
Oh.
Kiffin isn't leaving for Auburn.
I just don't.
He's fucking insane. He's
don't.
not leaving for Auburn.
He's not going to Auburn. I don't think so.
Well, if he does, that's gonna be a low blow.
Well, I mean, he'll do good at Auburn, but I don't think he's going to Auburn.
Yeah.
Like I think Auburn gets the former Panthers head coach.
Matt
No.
Rule.
Well,
Yeah, Matt Rule.
well, I think Nebraska could have that coach. If
What about Jeff Grimes?
who? I don't know
Jeff
who that is.
Auburn gets Jeff Grimes. Baylor.
Oh,
Who's Jeff Grimes? I'm sorry. These Southern names, not because of their names, but I don't know them.
Offensive coordinator for Baylor.
Right now they're not looking so good though.
He was formerly positions coach at Auburn before.
Uh,
Well, they could just get Gus Malzahn.
yeah.
Well, they should have never fired him, in my opinion.
Well, he's
I
doing
agree.
the Bowl.
Why did they even fire him? Because he went 6-4 in the COVID season.
Because he couldn't beat Bama anymore.
But who
He
normally
was
does?
1 year removed from beating Bama. What are you talking about? Like, he beat Alabama in 2019.
Bama won the national championship. Auburn wasn't national championship ready at that moment in time. It's even worse off now. But Auburn didn't believe that.
Is that Alabama season going down the toilet or what?
I heard a
I'm
toy
even
drop.
laughing at that.
Yeah, I went to the
Oh
bathroom.
my gosh.
That was hilarious. But that's Auburn right there.
But Auburn
Tennessee.
can get. Let's see here. Who can Auburn get? I mean, realistically. They can probably get. Well, they're not going to get Fickle because Fickle is
A Midwestern guy.
is
So.
holding out for Ohio State.
Well, if Ryan Day leaves, yeah, so yeah, that could happen.
So maybe Shaw, the Stanford head coach.
He hasn't done anything at
David Shaw?
Stanford.
Shaw
Yeah,
has a
he's
style of offense that can beat Bama in a given year.
yeah, but not talent though. That's the problem.
He can recruit though.
If
That's
Cadillac Williams wins out, upsets Bama, goes to a bowl, wins the bowl game,
Then
they're
Cadillac has the job.
they're 7-6
uh,
after the season they started out with. What happens? Do they just not even consider that?
they
No, Cadillac has the job if he beats Bama and Auburn goes to a bowl.
he probably keeps the job if that happens.
That's a huge if, but
What do you think, Ballard?
I think if he wins out and pulls an upset over Bama, makes it to a bowl, I think Cadillac Williams will be the next coach.
I mean, the players like the fans kind of like him, if I heard right.
maybe Jeff Saturday, maybe.
Hey, I don't know if you
I mean,
guys,
hell, fuck it.
yeah, I don't know if you guys have information. Well, I know Mickey Joseph. I don't know whole much about him, but
He's in the
is he?
same B and Matt Rule staff.
I thought he was at LSU. I thought
He's going to
Or-
LSU.
that's what I thought, but or for offense assistant offense coordinator, I think, but I don't know. But while he was at somewhere with Matt Rule or something like that, was he a really good recruiter? That's all I thought. Want to know. But that's all I want to know right now. But for Mickey Joseph, I don't know if he's the guy for Nebraska.
This, and I've said this many times. I really think Mark Stoops is going to Nebraska. That's just my opinion.
Well, Kentucky fans are probably going to be furious if that happens.
But anyways, thank you, Ballard, for letting me come on. I'm gonna get off here because I gotta go to work.
All right, see you, Matthew.
All right.
You just stay there. Like, I don't think that's possible. I mean, maybe Jim Mora. That might be realistic. I mean, look at what he's doing at UConn.
Oh yeah, UConn's better than Texas A&M. Holy shit! Sorry. Did you know that, Ballard?
No.
UConn has 5 wins.
6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 6 wins. I meant.
Oh, I did see the other day they're going bowling.
Wow. That's a low blow for A&M.
Like, I mean, like, I think the only possible place I see, because Deion isn't going to Auburn or Nebraska. They're not ready for Deion, at least not yet.
Yeah, I don't think Deion is going to Nebraska yet, but when he feels like it to build a program again, he could go there.
He'll leave when his sons graduate or when his sons leave. But it just seems like that's the place or that's the direction that he's heading. But he's gonna leave when his sons leave. Then start all over again. Deion seems like one of those guys that you start what you finish type of guys. Or you finish what you start. Do you agree with that? Or no? You guys don't agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Ballard, thank you for letting me on. I had to go, but thank you for talking. Let me talk with you. Hopefully, all of our teams win. So
Yep. Thanks, Nate.
let's see ya.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, it should be. I know there's a lot of cupcake games, but there's some other good matchups, I guess.
Yeah, Judgment Day in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
The Big Ten before their showdowns. They have a couple of cupcake matchups. And the head scratcher game day being in Montana.
Yeah, I still don't get that. That's ridiculous.
With them, it looks like they're going to end the regular season in LA. If USC beats UCLA and if Notre Dame beats Boston College, that would be the place they'll go to.
Notre Dame, USC.
Yeah, because Fox is heading to Michigan, Ohio State,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like game day will head to LA. And if
See, game
USC,
day this week should have gone to the Rose Bowl.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, but UCLA lost to Arizona,
Yeah, that's true.
and that ruined that opportunity. So now they're going to go to Montana and then finish the year in LA. Because that's the ABC primetime game. Next week. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. It's either that or they go to Michigan, Ohio State. And have both Fox and ESPN both there for that matchup. But I don't know. And then they could end up doing the Big Ten title game for the final or for championship week. Because the SEC doesn't seem like it's a playoff spot or bust type of game.
It actually is that, though.
If Georgia loses, they're in anyways.
Yeah, but if they lose too, LSU cracks a spot and steals.
You put a two-loss team over a one-loss SC.
Well, you're going to leave the SEC champion out.
It's possible. That is possible. Like LSU has 2 losses, but USC only has 1, and that 1 loss was to Utah. Again, if they win out, you're going to deny them for whatever
Yeah, that's
reason.
fair.
Now, if LSU goes out there and just beats the daylights out of Georgia, even though that's not possible. But if that happens, then I'll put LSU in over USC. But that's the one matchup that's kind of iffy, you know?
Yeah. We pretty much have not a single day on the calendar without football. We have a game tonight.
We did?
Yeah. A couple games, actually.
Oh, Maction.
Action. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Maction said it.
Bowling Green, Toledo, and Ohio and Ball State.
It's going to be an interesting night.
Yeah. I mean,
Middle
if Ball State and Bowling Green pull upset, they're bowl eligible because they're
Yeah, again.
5-5.
Yeah, again, but that's a big if. And the New Year's 6, again, that's another possibility where Tulane faces either Alabama or UCLA.
In a New Year's 6?
Next matchup.
No.
Because there's 3 2-loss teams. Bama. Yeah, there's 3 2-loss teams right now at this moment. Bama, UCLA, and Oregon. One of those 3 is going to be the at-large team in the New Year's 6. To face against the group of 5. The group of 5 leader. Most likely Tulane. So again, do you put them against Bama? Do you put them against Oregon, or do you put them against UCLA? More than likely, huh?
I don't know.
More than likely in the Cotton. Because judging if, like let's say, Pac-12, it's Oregon, USC, and if Oregon becomes a 3-loss team, then yeah, you put Oregon in the Alamo, you put SC in the playoff, and Bama, because UCLA would have 3 losses, will face the group of 5 winner. So all these answers, they're going to solve themselves.
Yeah.
There is no bowl game that's set in stone as of yet. Absolutely none. Like the only spot that's possibly solidified is Georgia, even if they lose. They're in. They done too much work for you to kick them out.
Yeah.
Way too much work. Same thing with Ohio State. Ohio State is a lot more iffy. If they lose to Michigan, do you put Ohio State over an undefeated Michigan? Because if they lose to them next week at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Again, the only spot that's solidified is Georgia's spot. That's the only spot that says like, okay, they're in no matter what happens. The rest of them, TCU is one loss away from being completely eliminated. Clemson needs to destroy everybody in order for them to jump SC or Ohio State. Like there's no bowl game that's solidified. Like nothing is solidified yet. Or the
Right.
only conference that's solidified is the ACC. I think the SEC is clinched as well.
Yeah, it is. So it'll be, let me see, Friday, December 30th is when we have the semis.
And that will be interesting. Friday, December 30th. So that's what? That's the sugar and the orange this year, right?
The peach and fiesta.
Oh, the peach and fiesta. Oh, okay. And then the bowl system that's pretty much going to be ended in about 2 years. That 12-team playoff. That's say goodbye to bowl games.
At least for the playoffs.
Like unless you want to delay the bowls. Up until the middle of January. If you want to keep the regular season. Like the only holdup is the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Rose Bowl is going to get out of there. Get out of their position. Because, like, if you think about it, that's a January 1st tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you all of a sudden get out of that spot for a late November, early December, or early December type of spot? Wouldn't make too much sense. You keep yourself at January 1. It's not going to be January 1 this year. It's going to be January 2nd this year.
Yeah.
But you keep yourself at that spot. And there is no There's no holdup in that. Like, unless you want to. Like, what do you think?
I think uh, a game like the Rose Bowl, traditionally played on New Year's, is, supposed to stay on New Year's Day.
Yep, same day as the parade.
Yeah.
So again, like, why would you leave that spot? That spot is way too important. The Pac-12 might be no more in 2 years
Yeah.
because you lost the two biggest schools.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about UCLA and USC are going to the Big Ten.
Which all might not be for that, because SC has threatened to go independent if the Big Ten recruits another West Coast school,
Interesting.
which will leave UCLA out in the lurch and have to beg to go back to the Pac-12. Again, that's if the Big Ten recruit, or if the Big Ten gets Oregon and Washington to join in. They'll be just like BYU. And go independent. No, there's a lot to sift through.
Yeah.
Like, there's a ton of red tape to sift through. Same goes with the video game as well. There's a lot to sift through. But those answers are going to be coming quicker than you think. Because I heard that EA is negotiating with a licensing group.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. I feel like they have the necessary schools. I think they said that they have like 6 holdups. That, like, one of them is Michigan and USC. But EA is in good standing with USC, so they're going to sign in no matter what.
No, we didn't fall asleep, Matthew. We're still kind of talking college football. Just awkward silence in between.
Like, but it's supposed to be insane.
Yeah.
These next couple of weeks. So what do you think about that Michigan Ohio State game.
I expect Ohio State to win, but I think Michigan can still keep it competitive.
So basically, like what, like 31, 21, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Because CJ Stroud can win the Heisman off that game.
He could.
The only holdup is what Caleb Williams might do to UCLA and to Notre Dame.
That's true. Not a lot of people have, at least over here, not a whole lot of Caleb Williams talk. Let's not forget he's a former 5-star and was with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma, and now he's making a name for himself at Southern Cal.
Yeah, and that's going to be the only holdup. The two primetime games. If anybody can steal the Heisman away from CJ Stroud, it's Caleb Williams. Because Bryce Young ruined his opportunity to be a back-to-back. Drake May can enter himself into the conversation.
Maybe.
Again, that's if Drake May plays huge against Clemson.
But he's got to lead his team to a victory.
Yeah, he has to be Clemson and play well in that game. And then you have that Michigan running back Blake Corum. He can enter himself into the conversation if Michigan beats Ohio State. He plays insane in that game. And then you have who's the other candidate?
Bryce.
No, Bryce is already eliminated.
Not his fault, by the way. Bill O'Brien just sucks as a coordinator. Oh man, I think I'm going to end the show. I appreciate you coming on.
You have a good one.
You too.
All right, God bless you.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thank you, Black Star 15. Thank you, Nate, and thank you, Mayhem Matthew, for coming on. So we kind of talked about it. Certain college football teams that are done. We got the new playoff rankings revealed tonight. Some of the teams that are done: Alabama, Oregon. Notre Dame's been done. Clemson with a loss. I don't know. We'll see. I think they are. Utah's done. Penn State's done. Kansas State, UCF, UCLA, Ole Miss. I could go on and on and on down the list. But I love you guys. Y'all are amazing. Great people. And I hope to see you guys later on. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. See ya.